Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And I'm gonna be giving you part 2 of What If Naruto Was a Godly Mage. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends over your social media platform. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Disowned by F1. And also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the beginning and enjoy that. And also stay in tune for What If Naruto's the Osusuke King that I'm going to be posting on this channel guys, and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and the Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me. If you're new, I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, with the last spot we left off, a woman was running down the alley. As she came to the alley wall, she had a baby in her arms as he was in a basket. He had bright blonde hair and blue eyes. As she kissed him on the forehead before, she summoned a book out of nowhere. She told the book to keep him safe as the book replied back to her. But once she placed a sealing rune on the wall, the thing went inside as there was all sorts of light and colors inside, seemed to be a teleportation portal of sorts. As she placed the baby inside, as he was pulled away along with the book, before she heard something behind her, she turned to face it. Inside, the book started to glow and cover the baby to protect him, but lightning started to spark. All different color, golden, white, black lightning started to spark all over as it came in contact with the book, how that it was circulating all around the baby. The book then got shocked repeatedly before falling back down into the basket. At the Elemental Nations, one Kushina Uzumaki was sitting at her table when a bright flash of light went off. The next thing she knew, there was a baby there. As Minato, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Hiruzen came. The baby had no chakra. Well, from what Tsunade could see, not even a single ounce of it. As Kushina decided that she will keep this baby. She was well known in Fuinjutsu, so she will find a way to understand what is going on with him and where did he come from. And they couldn't open the book either, so they decided to just keep it somewhere safe for now. As a year went by, everything was going smooth until the night when the masked man came to the house and took Kushina away. As she was gone for quite some time, seeing that she was coming back, the baby Naruto started to cry. As the entire place started to shake, as power started to ooze off of him, this unknown power. As Minato appeared at his house, he quickly used a seal and get Naruto somewhere safe first, and then he appeared next to Kushina. She was almost squashed by the nine-tailed fox. He quickly brought her back to Konoha, as he went to face the masked man and the fox that just poofed in the village. There was only one way that he could stop the nine-tailed fox, and that was by sealing it again. As Sarutobi came there to see the two fallen heroes, as he took baby Naruto and brought him back to the council. As they were talking, there was a lot of arguments to kill that boy and get rid of the demon once and for all. But Sarutobi shut down all of that argument at once. But then Anko spoke up, as she would take care of him. The reason being she was, well, abandoned by her sensei. And people hardly talk to her nowadays, thinking that the traitor will come back for her. She felt empty and all alone. And plus, she didn't want that young baby, she could see it on his face, that was ignorant to the world, go through that same pain. As Sarutobi looked at her, this would be a great responsibility, as he looked over at young Anko, wondering if she could take on the responsibility. Years passed as Naruto was assaulted in his bed by the book, Yamato. Yamato lost all sorts of his memories when he came to that portal thing, as he didn't even know where he's from or how he's a book. But he has a rather cocky attitude, and rather smart ass remarks now that. As we dive into a flashback to when Naruto first met him, when he burst out of the safe in Hokage's tower as he knew that Naruto was in trouble and went to save him, seeing that Naruto was fallen off the cliff in the forest of death. Naruto has been training extremely hard for his entire life, knowing that he didn't have chakra at first, so he pushed his body to become stronger. So, for a kid, he's quite strong, and he don't really take crap from anyone, seeing that uncle was the one that raised him. He also met the Kyuubi inside of him after Yamato went into his mind after feeling something strange inside of him, which was surprisingly a woman. She taken on that gender a long time ago to walk amongst the humans, as she took a quick liking to Naruto. Well, it took some years, but they don't hate each other. So yeah guys, that was basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the page and check it out for yourself. So, what's you begin this new episode? We begin this episode with a lot of cheering. Well, all of them were cheering for Sasuke. Go on ahead Sasuke, kick his ass, the fangirl said, as Sakura was cheering as loudly as possible. Go ahead Sasuke, kick his ass, as Sasuke was currently in front of Naruto. Naruto was just standing there not really caring about anything, as Sasuke hates seeing that look on his face, like he's above it all, like he's bored of this. Sasuke saw him training before once in one of the training grounds, and the things he did, the speed he showed and the strength he showed, was nothing that he showed in the class. Meanwhile, so Naruto-kun, are you finally gonna kick that arrogant Uchiha bastard ass? Asked Kyuubi. She never really liked the Uchihas at all. Yeah kid, what the hell is wrong with you? I mean, you'll soon be graduating out of this school, right? Yeah, said Naruto, what about it? So, show them what you truly are made of. I mean, this entire time you have been holding back. None of these other kids train like you, well, except for that one crazy other kid. As Naruto shook his head, it would be just a waste of time. And the Uchiha isn't even worth it. That's more of the reason, said Yamato. Go on, kick his ass all over this training field, and let those bitches shut their mouth. Going on Uchiha this, Uchiha that. For once I 100% agree with him, Naruto, said the Kyuubi. Go on and kick his ass for once. As a smirk came on Naruto's face. Well, we'll be soon graduating anyway. Are the both of you ready? Asked Aruka. As the both of them nodded. It's better if you just give up right now, Sasuke said, trying to goad Naruto and using what he's truly made of. I mean, you're nothing compared to me. You're gonna lose anyway. So it's best if you just walk off the field. A smirk came on Naruto's face. You wanna bet that I make you say I'm sorry? I'm an Uchiha boy. How can you do that to me? Boy? What's up with that, said Naruto. We're at the same age. And besides, you're not better than me. So keep on talking like you're a big shot. You've never done anything great, Sasuke said. And you're not even on top of the class. Who gives you the right to talk to me this way? I'm an Uchiha after all. You are nowhere near my league. As Naruto looked behind him. You know, I'm gonna put your ass down right here. Yeah, finally, said Yamato. Kick his ass all up and down the training field. Yeah, do it, Naruto-kun, said the Kyuubi. As Naruto smirked. So what do you say, Sasuke? How about we do this? Sasuke lowered his head. You actually think that you can stand up against me, he said, as he started to rush forward. Sasuke narrowed his eyes as Naruto didn't even move once. Sasuke reared back his fist and punched Naruto in the face. Everyone stopped. Did he hit him? Ino asked, as they were behind Naruto. So Ino walked around. Yeah, he did. But why didn't Naruto move at all? He's not even wincing in pain. Hey, what's going on, said Kiba. Did he hit him? Choji was munching on some chips. Yeah, he did, Choji said, but he didn't even move. Hey Shikamaru, you aren't watching the fight? As Shikamaru just looked up in the sky. I wish I was a cloud, he said. I mean, they can just fly and go everywhere they want. Back to the fight. Yeah, show him who's boss, said Yamato. Sasuke was surprised. He just hit him straight in the face. Mizuki narrowed his eyes. It seems like that Naruto kid can take a punch. Well, not surprising. I once caught him doing training in one of the training fields. It seems he's a wiser ninja than all of these other kids combined. What do you mean by that? Asked Mizuki. A wise ninja never show what they truly possess. But I guess just because we're soon coming to the graduation of the class, I guess Naruto isn't holding back anymore. So do you actually think he can beat the Uchiha? Mizuki asks. Well, we just have to watch and see. A hard fist planted right into Sasuke's gut. Sasuke didn't know what happened, but the entire world around him just shook violently. As his eyes went dizzy for a second there, his entire body trembled backwards. As he started to step back and back. As he looked down at his stomach, he tried to touch it, but there was an unbearable pain that he felt inside of it. You see what I mean, said Yamato. All these years, you have been acting like you're not better than all of them. I told you, Naruto said. The best thing to do is to show them. Well, not show them what you truly possess. But I guess you're right. We're gonna be graduating soon anyways. So might as well just have a little fun. Hey, what's going on? Is he cheating or something? Some of the girls asked. As Sakura looked over, that must be. What happened to Sasuke? Hey, did he use something to hurt Sasuke badly? Sasuke grunted as he picked up himself. Can't understand. What the hell just hit him? Was that a fist? Because he didn't see Naruto's hands move at all. What the hell did you just do? Naruto stepped forward and then he moved off. Everyone looked around. What just happened? Haruka narrowed his eyes in surprise. He knew that Naruto was hiding something. But so fast, and Mizuki. As Naruto appeared behind Sasuke, he raised his foot. Sasuke cried out in pain as a feet smashed right into his back, knocking him down to the ground. Naruto then stepped into Sasuke's back as he held on to Sasuke's arms. Alright, apologize, he said. Sasuke cried out in pain. I said apologize for what you said earlier. As he kept on holding Sasuke's hand before Haruka quickly came in. That's enough, Naruto. As Naruto looked over at him. But Sensei, he hasn't apologized yet, said Naruto. I said that's enough, Naruto. You're gonna break his arms and release him. Fine. As Naruto released Sasuke, making his arm drop to the ground. As Naruto removed his leg. Everyone was silent. Did that really just happen? Throughout the entire years, no one has ever managed to put Sasuke down to the ground like that. No one. Way to go, Naruto, said Kiba. You finally kicked that punk, arrogant son of a bitch ass. Language, said Haruka. Sorry about that, but way to go, Naruto, Kiba shouted. As Sasuke glared over at him. Hey, don't glare at me like that, you Uchiha, or I'll make Naruto kick your ass again, he said. As people started to laugh, well, most of the boys, the girls were all glaring at them. As Naruto smirked, well, I guess the Supreme Uchiha is not so good after all, he said. As Sasuke turned and gave Naruto his best death glare. But Naruto shrugged it off and started to walk away. As Hinata stopped right in front of him. Good work, Naruto-kun, she said. I never thought that you were actually that strong. I guess you've been holding back the entire time. Well, I thought it was finally time that I put the Uchiha in his rightful place. As she smiled, it seems like a lot more people are angry at you for doing that. As Naruto looked behind her, as he saw the fangirls marching over towards him, he put his arms around Hinata's waist and moved her out of the way. She blushed instantly. He did manage to make her get over her shyness all those years ago, but it was still hard. But he looked at her like a friend, a good friend. He didn't have much of those. So she didn't want to do anything or actually tell him that she liked him. She had a crush on him, but she loved being friends with him. And she didn't want to ruin anything. As Naruto smiled at her, don't want you to get hurt by these trampling fangirls, he said. Thank you, she said, as he walked forward before coming to a stop. How did you do that to Sasuke-kun, Sakura asked. As Ino was beside her. Sorry, Ino muttered the words. As Naruto simply waved it off. As this Ino girl, she was different from the others. She actually tried to talk to him. Other from this head of the fangirl. This girl with a large forehead. What do you want now, Haruno? Naruto asks. I asked you what did you do to Sasuke? Yeah, you cheated in some way. That is why no one liked you in the village, one of the other girls said. As Naruto turned and looked at her, but he didn't glare or do anything, he just looked at her. As she quickly turned her gaze. Yeah, she's right, another said, as the entire group started to group up on him. As he then heard a voice in his head. Hey, let me out there. Let me talk to those bitches, said the Kyuubi. Nah, you'd probably kill all of them, said Naruto, and they would be just more trouble. You're probably right, but they need to watch their mouth. Come on, kid, put them in their place. I guess you're right, said Naruto. He didn't really take crap from anyone. Uncle was kind of a bigger sister to him after all, and she didn't really have a clean mouth. But he sighed. It will be just a waste of time, he said. What do you mean, said Yamato. I mean, it's just gonna go through one ear and go to the other. Yeah, I suppose you're right, said Yamato. But I wanna have a little fun, he said. What do you mean, said Naruto. Are you gonna do it? Asked the Kyuubi. Hey, what are you guys talking about? Said Naruto. Well, you see, seeing that me and you are connected in a way. Recently I've been trying something only at night when you're sleeping. But I find out that I could... Naruto came to an abrupt stop. What is going on? He said that he couldn't move anymore. Oh, I could control you for some extent. We're connected in a, well, very complicated manner. By your brain to my system, so it's weird. But I can control you, only for a few seconds though. But you see, the Kyuubi is kind of helping me. And why are you doing that, said Naruto? Because you just see these girls as annoying, and you probably won't say anything more than just walking off or calling them bitches or something. But Yamato, he's gonna do something. Don't get me in any more trouble, said Naruto. You know these girls are already annoying already. It's time that we put them in their place, said Yamato. Alright, Naruto said, but he wasn't the one that was talking. Listen here, you little bitches. I would kindly suggest that you get out of my way before I slap each and every one of you. All of the girls started fuming in anger. What did you just say? It was Sakura that raised her hand first. I said you're a bitch, said Naruto. She struck him across the face, as the other girl stepped forward as well. So is that all, bitches, he said, as the others started to throw punches and hits as well, making Naruto smile even more. As the real Naruto sighed inside. Give me back my body, he said. Oh, this is where the fun just starts, said Yamato. Haruka had to rush over as he heard screaming, the girls crying out. What's going on, Haruka said as he rushed over to see Naruto standing there, but all of the girls were on the ground, either holding their cheek or holding their face, which was completely red. Naruto, what did you do? He asked. Naruto closed his eyes for a second and then opened them back. Yamato, he said. Yamato chuckled. Those bitches deserve that. Are you with me, Kyuubi? Yeah, I'm with you, she said. They deserve that punishment. As Kiba shook his head. Man, what did you just do? Ino was the only one that was safe from the onslaught. And Hinata. And some of the other girls who didn't partake. But this entire group of fan section, they were all smacked across the face. Ino couldn't believe it. It was the first time she saw Naruto do something like that. Well, he didn't really take crap from any of them. He always talked back or do something, well, with words, but he never actually strike them. He's right, Haruka sensei, said Hinata. All of them, they did him first, on purpose as well. He was just defending himself. As Haruka looked at the girls, is that true, he asked. But none of them responded. You see, said Naruto, it's not my fault. Haruka sighed. He wanted to scold Naruto for not hitting a girl. But Naruto might probably get frustrated after all of the verbal abuse. And then hitting him probably take it to a whole nother level. Ino went up to him. Are you okay? Don't worry, I'm fine, he said. But they all hit you, she said. Well, I hit them back. Well, I don't feel pity for them. They were the ones that started it. I know you're not like them, Naruto said. That's why I like you so much. Ino blushed. What? But he was already walking off. As he then heard chuckle in his mind. You see that? I end up getting revenge for you. And I also got you a cute girl your way. Well, that girl always liked him, said the Kyuubi. What? Said Yamato. For someone like you not noticing the signs, I must say I'm surprised, said the Kyuubi. What signs? Said Yamato. You mean that she was always staring at him? Oh, of course I know that she liked him. You didn't know, the Kyuubi said. Of course I know, said Yamato. I just want to see if Naruto figured it out first. Oh, I know, said Naruto. You were the only one that didn't know, Yamato, you dumbass. I'm not a dumbass, Yamato said. I saw the signs. Oh, and when did they start? I don't remember. And what did she do yesterday? Something that made she seem like she liked me, said Naruto. Well, why haven't you asked her out yet or do anything? Asked Yamato. Well, here we go again, said Yamato. I knew that you were gay. Are you in love with Uchiha or something? Hell no, said Naruto, and I'm not gay. It's not that. Or perhaps you want a older, hotter, sexier body, said the Kyuubi, in a rather sultry tone. For the love of God, why do you have to say it that way, said Yamato. I mean, I'm right here, you know that? Why do you have to go to him? Because you're just a book, said the Kyuubi. But for true, Naruto, what's the reason? Asked Yamato. Well, you're right about one thing, said Naruto. I mean, why would I hurry up to get married, when I could just sleep with as many girls as possible. You know what? I think that uncle has broken me. She told me that life is better when you're having as much fun as possible. So why would I hurt to hold down a marriage or something like that? That can wait until I go down in the future and get a bit older. But right now, I'm just here to enjoy my life and have fun, he said. No, that's more like it, said Yamato. It's gonna be awesome watching you screw all these girls. What do you mean watching me, said Naruto. I mean, I'm gonna be in here, so I'm gonna be a part of the fun as well. And I mean, technically, if I take control of your body while you're doing it, doesn't that actually mean hell no, said Naruto. I'm gonna find a way to prevent you from ever doing that again. Oh, we're gonna see. And plus, the Kyuubi's gonna help me again, right? Oh, Hugh-chan, said Naruto. Promise me that you will never do that again. Okay, Naruto-kun, I promise, she said. As long as you do me a favor in the future. Oh, and what's that, Naruto said. When the time comes, I'll tell you, she said. Wait, you can't be thinking, said Yamato. What are you talking about, she said. I'm gonna be watching you. And if anyone's getting a piece, it's gonna be me. What, said the Kyuubi. Never mind, said Yamato. Time skip. 498, 499, 500, said Naruto. As he finally relaxed. Is that all, said Yamato? I mean, I can do twice as much. You can't even lift yourself up. You're a damn book. You don't have arms, said Naruto. You're only flying. And that means I can fly and you can't. So yeah, I can do twice as much, said Yamato. Just be quiet, said Naruto. As he was hanging from upside down a tree. His two arms had ninja wire attached to them, with two large boulders hanging down on the ground. He was using them for pulling up, and his body was now completely exhausted. All around him there was craters in the ground, trees sliced down and in pieces. As he's been doing a hectic training session as he's currently in the forest of death. He cut the wires as he jumped off the tree and landed on his feet. He wiped the sweat from his brow. I must say, when times come for you to show your real skills, people are truly going to be impressed, said the Kyuubi. Yeah, I know. Suddenly Yamato appeared. Hey, what are you doing out here, said Naruto. It's a spell. A new one, said Yamato. Really, said Naruto. What is it, he asked. As Yamato opened up as his page started to glow. As writings started to come in, right under one of Naruto's previously used spells. A new spell coming up. Animated? Let's see what it does, said Naruto as he read the description under the bottom of the spell. Grants one the ability to bring object alive for aid in everyday lives and battles. Last, to how much mana is used in this spell? Wait, is this saying I can bring things alive around me? It seems that way, said Yamato. Hurry up, try it out. As Naruto looked around, what should I try it on? How about the boulder, said the Kyuubi. Well, let's see, Naruto said. As he stepped forward towards the boulder, Lifebringer. Animated, he said, as he placed hand on the boulder. There was a flash of light as he squinted his eyes. When the light went away, he opened them back. It was then that the boulder started to shake a bit, before propping up. What the hell? The thing rolled come towards him. As the thing then started to shake even more, before strange boulder arms came out of the side, and then out of the other, and the thing grew legs and stood over Naruto. The boulder was big, so yeah, it towered over him. What the hell? Said Naruto. What is your command, master? The boulder said. This is awesome, said Naruto. Hey big guy, can you give me a lift? He asked. The boulder raised down his hand and placed on the ground as Naruto stepped on it, as it raised him above the trees. Naruto's eyes went wide. This is awesome, he said as he looked around. So you do whatever I say, he asked the boulder. Your wish is my command, the boulder said. Alright then, put me down. As he looked towards the boulder. Fight me. No holding back now. As you wish. It did, without hesitation. The thing then made a giant leap and tried to squash Naruto. Naruto jumped back as he looked up at the boulder. Before raising his hand up, let's bring the heat as he flashed his hand 2 times. His 2 hands then became enveloped in flames before he started to throw fireballs straight to the boulder. The thing smashed right into the boulder, but it was no affected at all. The boulder then came down on him and dropped his hand hard before Naruto jumped back. He then extended his arm like a bow. As a fire bow and arrow came, as he started to fire the bow and arrow at the boulder, the thing just swatted them away before picking up two large trees and throwing them towards Naruto. Yamato, Naruto said. As Yamato appeared, Naruto then extended his hand towards Yamato page. As he then started to pull, a black hilt was pulled out first, along with a white blade. As he pulled another, two blades in his hand. The both of them had black hilt, with strange red markings going all around it. The blades were white, and he could see the reflection. As he whipped them around, they were sharp. The trees came towards him as he swung the both of them around, slicing and cutting into the trees as they fall down in pieces. The boulder came rushing at him again as the thing dropped where he was, but he jumped away. The thing then sucking back its arms and its legs and came rolling at him, tearing through the ground. As Naruto jumped into the forest, he started to hop from tree branch to tree branch as the boulder was destroying everything behind him. It seems like this thing is persistent. You did tell it to fight you and don't hold back, said Kyubey. Well, I guess you're right, said Naruto. But let's see how it stands up to this. Let's bring the lightning, he said. As Naruto's eyes started to sparkle a bit before he jumped off one of the tree branch. He then pointed his two fingers at the boulder. Alright? Bigger eye, he said, as a massive torrent of lightning shot from his finger. The thing teared right through the boulder, but the thing didn't stop. I guess it's a non-living object, so yeah, no inner organs, he said, as he jumped away again as the boulder teared through the forest. It's really trying to kill you, said Yamato. Well, I did tell it not to hold back, said Naruto, but did it really kill its master? Why don't you stop and see? You son of a bitch, what if it really runs over me, said Naruto. Your problem, said Yamato. And then who will you be talking to, Yamato asked. I mean, I'll be gone, the Kyubey will be gone, so then who? Your damn self? Well, just don't let it run over you, said Yamato. Just admit it, you like talking to me, Naruto said. Of course not, said Yamato. The Kyubey, on the other hand, I would spend the entire day with her, massaging her, and getting to know her in a better manner. And how would you massage me? I mean, you don't have any arms, she asks. Well, where there's a will, there's a way. I know exactly, she asks. Just give me a chance, he said, and I'll show you. You won't ever touch me, she said to him. And why is that, said Yamato. Is it because I'm a book? Are you one of those weird people who don't like books? Can you two be quiet, said Naruto. Hey, shut up and fight your stupid boulder, said Yamato. I'm having a deep, intimate conversation with the Kyubey right now. Naruto stopped as he held out his fingers. Suddenly, black balls started to appear on each finger as he combined them all together, creating a larger ball. It looked like a baseball before he grabbed it. Here, buddy, catch, he said, as he threw it straight towards the boulder. The thing bounced right off its head, but then the ball started to grow before exploding. The boulder stood no chance as the thing was ripped apart within seconds. As Naruto stopped and placed his hand over his face, waiting for the explosion to die down. As he moved his hand, I guess my destructive balls are too destructive, he said. Aw, my boulder friend is gone. He then heard Yamato crying. Hey, why are you crying, Naruto asked. You miss him as well? What the hell are you talking about, said Yamato. I'm crying because she doesn't want to sleep with me. Yamato. You're a boat, Naruto shouted. Time skip. It was finally time for the final test, as Anko got out of her bed. As Naruto already went off already this morning, telling her that he was leaving. She looked around. As she looked over the clock, it was still early. Well, he had to be at the academy early. She sighed she could get some more rest. Before, good morning, she heard. What the hell is that? As she got out of her bed, she blinked twice before looking at the slip of paper on her bed. It was a note. I told you to stop walking around naked. This is your punishment, the note said. As Anko saw everything start to sing. Is this one of his new spells, she said. As all of the objects, the figurines, the alarm clock, everything was singing. Can you all be quiet, she said. But they didn't even listen to her, they just kept on singing and singing and singing. As Anko's eyebrow twitched several times. Oh yes, I'm gonna get that little brat for this, she said. Before she walked into the room. They had been pulling pranks on each other for God knows how long now. And she's gonna get him back. Oh yes, she will. She then came back in the room as she had a baseball bat in her hand. Oh yeah, keep on singing, she said. Meanwhile, Naruto's walking towards school. So, do you think they will make you fight today again, Naruto-kun? Asked the Kyuubi. I don't think so, said Yamato. Are you Naruto? Asked the Kyuubi. You're not even named Naruto, so why did you answer my question? I mean, I'm closer to you, but we're inside of him. Inside of him? You know, I always wonder, where exactly are you? The seal is on his stomach, but you're in his head, his mindscape, right? So, where exactly are we, said Yamato. And this is his mind, you said repeatedly about the seals on his stomach, so how does that work? Do you travel through his stomach to his brain? I can't explain that to you right now, and it's not like you're gonna remember anything, you dumbass, he said. Do you think I'm an idiot, he asked. Is that the reason why you won't sleep with me? Well, there are a number of reasons right there. One of them is, I don't really like you. The next one is, you're a book. The next one is, I don't really like you. And the next one is, I don't really like you. So do you understand now, she said, that sweet smile. As Naruto sighed, you two are always at it. You seem like an old married couple. We do, don't we, said Yamato. I could just imagine it now. In Yamato's subconscious. As him and the Kyuubi was sitting on a beach. A wonderful day, darling, said the Kyuubi. Yes, I'm having the best day, said Yamato. As he smiled, looked out to the ocean. Wait, said Kyuubi, as she cut the imagination. So in this you have a body, she said. Of course, he said. I mean, how would I make sweet, sweet love to you all day? And not to mention, as he skipped back to the thinking, as their beautiful kids run along. What the hell, said the Kyuubi? Why are they running in slow motion? I mean, that is how you do it on the beach. As the kids were running in slow motion. It wouldn't happen like that, said the Kyuubi. As the thing then switched to the entire place burning, Yamato was screaming out in pain and agony as the Kyuubi was standing there along with Naruto, the both of them dancing on the beach with Yamato in fire burning. As he quickly cut the imagination. You wicked bitch, he said. What was that, she said. Oh, nothing, he said. Naruto, she's a bitch, you know that. She burned me in my own imagination. So you understand now that she don't love you and don't want to be with you. No, that just makes it even more hotter because she know I cannot physically get burned by fire. So that means she wants to be freaky, Yamato said. Mother of God, said Naruto as he shook his head as he just kept on walking. He finally arrived to school. The moment he stepped foot in the class, all of the girls sent dead there his way, including Sakura, as they all remember him slapping all of them. Well, they did hit him first. There was a charge that went up with the Hokage, but Haruka informed him that they did hit him first, and Naruto didn't really care about the appearance. It's not like any of them could touch him, and Uncle was just itching to kill one of them for touching him. So yeah, they wouldn't dare try anything, because the moment the girl went home, they all went to tell their parents that he hit them, and their parents came marching towards school, and some of them even going towards the Hokage to get the demon brat killed or banned from the academy. But their children were in the wrong because they first started it. So yeah, Naruto wasn't blamed for a single thing. You're all staring at me like that, like I'm gonna suddenly combust into flames, said Naruto, as they just growled at him and kept on staring at him like he's suddenly just gonna blow up in flames. But he simply shook his head as he went towards his seat. You know, I don't know what got into you yesterday, but you're really hated now, said Kiba. Man, these girls are just fangirls, Naruto said. I don't want any of them, so it's not like I'm gonna be going back and say, oh, can I please go out with you? And they're gonna turn me down because they hate me. So screw them. It seems like you haven't changed one bit, said Shino. Always talking whatever's on your mind. Well, if you don't, you'll probably get constipated, and it will probably hurt you in some way. I'm not one to hold back anything, said Naruto, and you know that. Exactly, said Shino. Alright everyone, Haruka says he got in the class. As you all know, today is the finals. And those of you who graduate today will be moving on and becoming Jennings. And you will go out in the real world. And most of the fangirls will die, said Naruto. Haruka glared at him. Do not interrupt me, Naruto. But it's true, Naruto said. You need to talk to them about that. Do they think their precious Sasuke is going to help them in the field? Sasuke glared at Naruto, but he didn't say anything. Haruka sighed A part of him knew that was true. Most of these girls in here, especially Sakura, she was smart when it comes to combat, fighting or anything like that. Well, she didn't hold a candle to Hinata Hyuga. Hinata was the best girl when it comes to, well, she has the brains, and she has the talent, learning from her family, dojutsu and style of fighting. Yeah, she was the best girl in the class. And to make it better, she was the fangirl like any one of them. I believe in all of you, Aruka said. It was his job after all. And I believe all of you will do great and make me proud out there. And will fight for your village, Konoha, and protect it at any means necessary. Naruto was about to say something, but Aruka glared at him. As Naruto went quiet. Alright, Aruka said. When your names are called, please come to the testing room. Me and Mizuki will be the proctors for these tests. As he then walked off, Naruto did not really care about most of these people. But he watched. He saw Sakura came back with a headband. He didn't pay it any mind as she rushed towards Sasuke's side. Look, Sasuke-kun, she said. I got one. That was all Sasuke said. Hinata Hyuga. There was a female teacher there calling the names. As Hinata went around, good luck, Naruto muttered to her. As she nodded as she went off. A few minutes later she came back, with a headband tied around her neck. She smiled. I got it, she said. I knew you would. There wasn't even a doubt, he said to her. Thank you, she said, for having faith in me as always. Of course I have, said Naruto, as she smiled and went towards her seat. As the others were being called, because by their last name, everyone that Naruto knew from his little group, all of them passed. As Kiba came around, finally he said, Noah official Genin so I can start getting missions to kick people's asses, he said. As he came and sat back down, all of you, bask in my glory. As Naruto sighed, that doesn't make you awesome just because you're a Genin now, he said. Sasuke's name was called before his because of his last name Uchiha. As Naruto Uzumaki, the second letter was later in Sasuke. As Sasuke went around there, after a few minutes he came back with an arrogant smirk. I know you could do it, Sasuke-kun, said Sakura. Was there even a doubt, Sasuke said. Sakura smiled that he talked to her, because he was always saying Well, I didn't have any doubt, she said. But then he said as she sighed, back to that again. Naruto Uzumaki, the teacher, said in a rather distasteful tone. Hey, can I see that listener to ask? The woman looked at him. Why, she said. I don't want you dirtied up in any way. Are you saying my hands aren't clean, he asked. What do you want, she asked. Can I adjust the list? She turned towards him. What do you want? Oh, I was just wondering, why you call my name that way and the others the other way around? You should really speak my name with more respect. Seeing I'm going to outrank you very soon. And you're just going to be an academy teacher. And how do you know that you will pass? You will probably fail and become a good for nothing. Still better than you bitch, he says. He started to walk off. As the woman glared at him, that boy never had any manners. Yeah, that's how you treat those bitches, said the Kyuubi. Yeah, said Yamato. No holding back on them. If they want to treat you badly, you treat them badly as well. You know, we should celebrate once Naruto become a Genin, said Yamato. How? Asked the Kyuubi. Well, in all right purposes. You should have sex with me, he said. As the Kyuubi slapped her forehead, she just went quiet. I think you bummed her out, said Naruto. How? I mean, she's gonna have a good time as well. How? You're a book, said Naruto. That doesn't mean I can't do things, he said. What things, Naruto asked. Welcome, Naruto, said Aruka, cutting off anything from going on any further. Alright, Naruto. Aruka looked at Naruto because he knew of his... Well, Naruto didn't have any chakra at all. That was bad for the first part of the academy, but they didn't really do anything so, well, advanced. But Naruto was extremely fit when it comes to physical exercises. His speed, his taijutsu and his reflex was on point. And Aruka knew that he was holding things back. But ever since, a few years ago, Naruto started to produce these strange kind of abilities. He didn't know exactly what was them, but the Hokage told him that it's nothing to worry about. And there was this book that was always floating beside him, which was confusing. A lot of others were confused about it as well. But Naruto told him that it was a secret, that he can't just go around giving off his secrets like that. And they had to respect that. And it was quite confusing to most of them. So Naruto, I would like you to perform a simple clone jutsu, said Aruka. Can he even do that, said Mizuki. What, said Naruto. I mean, he doesn't have any chakra at all, said Mizuki. As Naruto smirked, well, that would be a long time ago, but now. Naruto slammed his hands together. Duplicate, he said. As suddenly, Naruto's body shimmered a bit, and a perfect replica of Naruto appeared. That replica shimmered, and another replica appeared. Naruto, you managed to create clones, Aruka said as he was surprised. And that's not just all, said Naruto as he raised his hand and bumped the clone on his head. Mizuki got up. Impossible. Are those solid? He walked around to check. He poked the clone in his forehead, but then he was smacked across the face as he dropped to the ground. What the hell, Mizuki said, holding his face. Yamato, said Naruto. Well, that guy was always looking at you with this bad eye. So I decided to take control of one of these clones and, well, my hand kind of slipped, said Yamato. He's right, Naruto, that guy's bad news. I can feel his hatred coming off of him towards you. Naruto, what was that? Aruka asked. Well, it's not me. You see, if I don't give them instructions, they have a mind of their own, and they can do as they please. So these clones, can they last for as long as they want? Well, it depends how long I run out of... Well, it just depends, said Naruto. It's a secret. Aruka sighed, as the Hokage told him that it's a secret as well, so he couldn't really ask Naruto what is he doing. But I think you need to keep them under control. Don't worry, we're under perfect control, one of the clones said, as he looked at Mizuki. Sorry about that, my hand just kind of slipped. As Naruto raised his hand, both clones just burst, before the energy got sucked right back into Naruto. As Aruka then looked at Naruto. Alright Naruto, shuriken through, and he said. As the shurikens were on the table, Naruto picked them up. As Aruka pointed back over to the board. He saw several marks already on the board, where the others threw them and landed. I guess I should do something amazing to blow his mind, said Naruto. Yeah, split the board in half, said Yamato. As Naruto pulled back his hand and thrust them forward, the thing split right through the board and date into the wall. What the hell, Aruka said. I knew that you were strong, but to this level, he asked, as he looked Naruto up and down. Mizuki was still growling as he rubbed his cheek. That hit was damn hard for a genin. Naruto, I must say. Well, one more test. But as far as I can see, you are already ready for the rank of genin. So then why do I have to do this other test? It's just a formality, Naruto, said Aruka. Alright, fine, Naruto said. So what is it? The transformation jutsu. I want you to do a perfect transformation right here and now. As Mizuki smirked. Let's see the kid do that, he said. I can do better, said Naruto. As he put his hands together, his hands started to hum a bit before he placed his hand on his face and wiped it down on his face. Aruka and Mizuki was taken aback. What did you just do? You can see I have full control over this transformation, said Naruto. As the both of them looked at him, he had the head of the third Hokage, but his body was there. What is this? Mizuki said. What is this? As he was confused, he couldn't understand or comprehend this. Well, said Naruto, before wiping his hand across the other arm, and it transformed into an old arm like the third Hokage. He then placed his hand on his chest. His entire body started to change, but it wasn't like a ninja transformation with chakra. His body started to age in a way, making it look like he was actually getting old, but it was just a spell, before Naruto turned to third Hokage fully. Aruka couldn't even imagine how Naruto was doing this, but this was just truly extraordinary. As he placed up the headband, Naruto then returned back to normal. Wonderful, Naruto, he said. You passed, as he gave Naruto his headband. Naruto took it as he tied it around his waist. Yeah, that's more better, he said, as he combed back his hair, because it was flopping, the bangs coming into his face. I like it that way. See Aruka sensei, as he walked out. He didn't even acknowledge Mizuki, making Mizuki even more pissed at him and growled at him as well. As Naruto came back in the classroom, Naruto said, Hinata, you did it. What did you expect, said Naruto. As she smiled, I knew you could do it. As he went over, as he started to chat with them. After everyone was done, I'm impressed, Aruka said. You all, have made me extremely proud. He then started to drawl on another speech, but Naruto didn't pay him any mind, as he was just talking to Yamato and the Kyuubi. After that was over, they all exited the classroom, where the parents all were outside waiting for their kids, as all of them went up to them and started to congratulate them. As there was a sad look on Naruto's face. "Hey, don't be going whining like a bitch right here," said Yamato. "Hey, be quiet," said the Kyuubi. "I'm not wrong. Uncle is at home waiting for him to probably have a celebration, so he shouldn't be." "Naruto," said the voice. Everyone turned as Uncle walked out, as a big smile came on Naruto's face. Despite everything, being all alone sometimes was kinda depressing, but Uncle was here. As she looked at all the other people, she just scowled at them as she walked up to Naruto. "I knew you could do it," she said as she gave him a big hug. As she smiled as he hugged her back. They didn't care about anyone else. This is how their relationship was set, and the both of them like it this way. They care for each other and take care of each other this way. It was then that Naruto felt her, well, she was squeezing him. "Oh, you thought I forgot about this morning," she said. "Oh crap," Naruto said. He placed his hand together as his body started to become moist, as he slipped right out of her grasp. "You come back here, you little brat," she shouted, as she fired off snakes at him, as Naruto rushed away. Hinata giggled at that, as the one that came to pick up Hinata was Kurenai. As Kurenai looked at her. "He's the boy, right?" "Oh, you never met him before?" "Yeah, that's him, Naruto-kun." As Kurenai looked up and smiled, she knew who that boy was. But that boy has been a big improvement in Hinata's life. Ever since he met her, Hinata, well, her confidence has started to grow a lot. Yeah, she could use a friend like that. As Kurenai just smiled, despite everything she knew, that boy was just a boy. He was not a demon, it was just sealed inside of him. As she saw the angry looks the people were giving that boy. She heard what happened, that he slapped all of the girls in his class. But they also heard that they were the ones who slapped him first, so yeah. Well, that wasn't right, but he probably had enough of their crap. So it wasn't her place to say anything about that. Later that night, Naruto was breathing heavily. In the forest, he decided to go out here to do some fitness training, well, mostly push-ups, jogs, and some sit-ups. He had to keep his body in physical condition after all. As he was lying down flat on the ground, as Uncle was given a mission, so he didn't really have anything rushed to go home to right now. So that is why he was out here. But a smile came to his face. She brought him to Ichiraku ramen and made him eat as much as he wanted. She paid for everything, of course. It was his day to celebrate after all. Well, that is what he did almost all the time when they go out. He eat a bunch of ramen. Or they go to the dango store and they eat a bunch of dango. As he was happy that Uncle decided to adopt him. She didn't know who his parents were, but she took the responsibility on herself. That just made him smile, before something whished past the bushes. "Hey, what's that?" said Yamato. As Naruto looked up, Yamato was there as well, he was outside. As he floated up and looked, there was a lot of craters around Naruto and water, and some acid substance or burning in a tree. Naruto picked up himself as Yamato vanished into the mindscape as well. "Hey, sexy ass fox," he said. "You awake?" As a groan could be heard, followed by a loud stretch. "What is it this time?" she said. "Looks like something interesting's gonna happen." As Naruto chased after the person, he saw the person dash into the woods. "Hey, hold up there," he said. "What's going on?" As the person came to a stop, the person had a wicked grin on their face. Naruto could see it. "You know, I thought that by some luck I could run into you before I leave. But it seems like God has brought me that luck." "Hello there, Kyuubi brat." "What did you just say?" said Naruto, as he looked at Mizuki. "Oh, haven't you ever wondered why the people hate you so much? And even why I hate you? Seeing your face every day was like a poison, was like a sickness." As Mizuki smirked to himself, it was then a voice cried out, "Mizuki! We're over here," Naruto cried out. Mizuki growled as he pulled a giant Fuma shuriken from his back. Naruto noticed a large scroll that he was resting against a tree. As Aruka appeared, "Mizuki, what the hell are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just finally telling the brat why he's so hated." Aruka then noticed Naruto standing there. He heard the voice. What was Naruto doing out there this time? Mizuki, no! You know that's forbidden. I'm leaving anyway. So you really did it. There has been talks that someone stole the scroll, and we're to investigate and find the intruder rather quickly. The Onbus are all over searching for you. Do you really think that you can escape? I already have a way out of this village. Yes, I can escape. A few minutes won't spare anything once I kill you. And kill the Bright as well. So have you ever wondered? Mizuki, stop it, Aruka says. He pulled 3 kunais and threw them at Mizuki. Mizuki knocked them away as he threw the Fuma Shuriken. Aruka ducked right under it, but something fell off of it as Mizuki smirked, as a smoke bomb enveloped the entire area, as Mizuki pulled back his Fuma Shuriken that stabbed Aruka in the back. As the smoke started to clear away, now no more interruptions. You see that demon that attacked the village all those years ago? You see, that's you. You were the one that attacked the village. It is inside of you, making you a demon as well. That is why everyone hates you. That is why your parents probably run away and left you to die in this village. Because you're a demon, you demonic little brat. And now I can finally get rid of you. As Aruka looked up at Naruto, he tried to pick himself up, but the shuriken was causing a problem. Naruto simply walked over as he ripped the shuriken out of Aruka's back. Don't worry, Sensei, he said. Everything's gonna be alright. Oh, and I already know, Naruto said. You think I'm a dumbass? I already know why people hate me. I can see the looks. I know when I was born, so I'm not an idiot. So you think that surprised me? Oh, it doesn't. You know what's gonna be surprising? What's that, Mizuki asks? This ass kicking that you're gonna get. He flashed his hand 2 times as they became enveloped in flames. As he thrust them towards Mizuki, a blast of flames came out of it. Mizuki had to jump away. But he took his eyes off Naruto, and that was the wrong thing to do. Aruka watched in amazement and surprise as Naruto propelled himself off the ground with so much speed. He smashed his fist into Mizuki's face. The flames burned his skin. Mizuki cried out as he was sent sailing as he crashed into a tree. Left side of his face, the skin was melting off. You could see its teeth inside of his mouth. As he started to scream out in pain and agony, trying to clutch at his face, but he didn't know where to hold it. What have you done to me? He said. As the flames were extremely hot and extremely excruciating, the flames then disappeared from Naruto's hands. Vines binding, he said. All of the vines of the trees started to wrap around Mizuki as he spread his arms wide and lift him off the ground. I wonder what's the best way of torturing, said Yamato. You know, we should probably do that thing on him. Yeah, do that, said the Kyuubi. As she also wanted to see this human suffering pain and agony as well, after what he just said to Naruto. As Naruto stepped forward, illusion, nightmare hell gate, he said, as he placed his hand on Mizuki's head. Mizuki blinked twice. What the hell did you just do? But Naruto said nothing. Mizuki then tried to break away from the vines, and he ripped right through it. He then smirked as he pulled for his Fuma Shuriken. Now you die, he said, as he drove it through Naruto with ease. He pulled it out of him. You bastard, said Aruka, as he drove it through Aruka as well. Mizuki smirked as he started to walk away, before the world around him started to crack. He then started to fall, as he screamed out, not knowing what was going on and where he was, before he dropped hard. But he couldn't see anything, just darkness. Ants, chaos, Naruto's voice echoed through the area. It was then that Mizuki saw ants. Yes, ants on the ground. He was confused. Before the thing started to grow large. The things then started to grow as he started to back away before he felt his back hit something. He then turned to see the ants. Mizuki started to scream out in pain and agony as they started to feast upon him. And he couldn't die. Because he was getting eaten inside and out, his organs were out of his body, but he couldn't die as he could see himself getting eaten over and over again. Meanwhile, Aruka watched Naruto. Naruto's hands were around Mizuki's head like an orb, and a strange flicker of light was hitting Mizuki's head every 5 seconds. Before Naruto broke away his hand as he smiled to himself. No, that should teach him a lesson, he said. As Naruto helped up Aruka, "You okay, Aruka-sensei?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "Naruto, are you okay?" What he just said. Don't worry about it, said Naruto. I'm not bothered by it anymore. Besides, I do have someone who cares about me that much. And you're not so bad yourself, he said. You're the only teacher I probably respect out of all of them. So yeah, the envoys then arrived. As they looked around, Mizuki started to scream even more. What happened to him? One of the envoys asked. As Iruka shrugged. I have no idea, he said. As Mizuki just kept on screaming. As Naruto snapped his finger, as the blue glow then vanished, as Mizuki's head slumped down. As the Kyuubi and Yamato was laughing inside of Naruto's head, making Naruto smile. But guys, be in episode right here. And if you enjoyed this, remember to comment down below and tell me that you want part 3. And yeah, for now, I'm out. Peace.